Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Tamby here, and so I'm back from my trip. I think I've been back from my trip for probably maybe 3 or 4 days, and I went to Missoula. I'm sorry, I really dislike Missoula. I have a bad history there in Missoula. The people really aren't that nice. But yeah, I went there to go support one of my old friends there. And yeah, so this video is going to be a story time. And also, maybe if my supporters can give me some type of advice, that would be great. So, my friends are kind of like family. I'm not going to say their names on here because that is their business. I did ask them if I could make this video. They said yes, and I told them that I would not put their names out there or addresses or really anything like that. So keep on watching. And if you want to put the advice in the comments, go right ahead. So basically, I was in Missoula, and I don't live in Missoula. I just went up there for a week to spend time with them. And, sorry, I have lava brain right now. Yeah, so I went up there to go see them. And they've been dealing with a lot of family drama and stuff like that. They've had to call the cops, stuff like that, but the police there, they don't take anyone seriously. Like, that is one reason why I had to leave, and that is one reason why I hate Missoula. Because the police don't take anything seriously there unless you're bleeding out. They don't really care. So, yeah, I was at risk, so I left. But I was there for a week to spend time with friends, and they allowed me to stay there with them on their property. They were very nice. They took good care of me while I was there. But this is where I need the advice on. So because they've been dealing with some family drama, and I'm proof of that, so they weren't like hallucinating or being paranoid or anything like that, because they have been being watched and followed and stuff like that. And the police think that my friend is on drugs, and it's not true. Like, I was with her for a freaking week, and I know what it looks like when someone's on drugs, and I was with her most of the time. So, and she has kids. But basically, we were out on an errand, and we noticed someone that used to date my friend's daughter. And keep in mind, like, this is drama, whatever. And I don't know his name, really. But we saw him at Walmart. And I pulled one of her kids away from him because I didn't want no drama. So I pulled them away and started trying to find, my friends. And we told them that we saw him or whatever. And then we walked around the store for probably about an hour. And we get back in the car, and we decide that we're going to go to I think it was the truck stop, to take a shower because their shower isn't working and stuff like that. And they were very nice enough to pay for my shower as well, because at that time I didn't have any extra money to spend. And yeah, so we went and took a shower. I got my shower done, and as I'm getting out of the shower, my friend was like, hey, we need you for something. And I'm like, okay. So we go down the stairs, and she starts explaining that the person that we saw at Walmart, him and his friends, who is actually part of her family that is during the drama, they were circling around the cars, and her one of her children was scared in the car. Keep in mind, he's not young. He's like 14. And that he was scared and needed someone to stay in the car with him. So I was like, okay. And so we get in the car and I'm waiting. They're like, yeah, he was circling the vehicle. And I'm like, well, that's messed up. So we get in the car and we're getting ready to go home. And we notice this thing in the sky. And at first, I thought it was a plane. They already knew what it was because they've been dealing with this for a while. And I mean, it wasn't in the sky. It was kind of like just hovering. At first, I thought that it was an airplane because, you know, I've seen stuff like that before. I was just like, oh, well, maybe it could be an airplane. I was trying to kind of like help the situation. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to worry. It's probably an airplane. I wasn't like saying that I didn't believe them because I'm very, very open-minded. So I was kind of like, oh, well, it looks like an airplane. So you're fine. You're okay. And then she was like, I'll prove to you it's a drone. And so she pulls over on the side of the road and the drone stops with us. Like on cue, just stops and is hovering in midair. And like you can see now even more as we got a better look at it that it was an actual drone. Not just because it stopped, but because after it stopped, I could see it a little bit more. And it had the light on it. And so we're sitting there for maybe like 2-3 minutes, probably a little longer than that. And, sorry, my alarm went off. And it's just hovering there. And so we're trying to get pictures of it, trying to record it because police won't do anything because we don't have a recording of it or whatever. And it's stupid because we don't have iPhones. We don't have like special heavy duty cameras that's going to catch that. And so like we're trying everything we can to get this. And as we're putting our cameras up to get it, the light shuts off. Poof, just totally off. So we can't see it anymore. And I was just like, what? Like that. At first I was kind of dumbfounded. I was like, so it stops right when we stop, like immediately when we stop. And it's just hovering there. And then it shuts off its light. That's awkward. So we continue to drive or whatever. And, sorry, hold on. So we're still driving and I noticed that there's more than one following us. I thought that there was only 2, but according to them, they counted one more. So there was 3 following us. And they knew all the people that owned the drones. So they knew who was doing it. And the kids would notice when like going to take the dogs out to go to the bathroom, you know, playing outside, these drones would watch them. Creepy. And they didn't really have a bathroom, so they had this like porta potty that they pay every month, which is nice. But one of the boys likes to go outside. You know, obviously he's a boy. And so these drones would hover over him while he's going to the bathroom, watching him, and he's a kid. That is weird. And following the kids while they're playing outside. Like they're trying to catch them doing something, you know, like catch my friend doing drugs or something, which she's not on drugs. They're just trying to get her in trouble and get her kicked off her property that she owns. She owns that property. That property is all paid off, 100% hers. And they've been reporting her nonstop. There are people that don't like her because they're snooty jerks and they have a lot of money. And I mean, I'm not judging rich people, but they are snooty to my friend because she is poor. And so that says a lot about those people. So they work together with the family, her family that is trying to give her crap and trying to do all these things. So like I said earlier, the days, like they know when they're going to be messed with drones because of the fact that normally the days that they get messed with the drones, the neighbors that like to mess with her, just the neighbors that like to mess with her, their lights are out. And normally they have their lights on 24/7. They only turn their lights off when my friends are getting messed with the drones. It's almost like they're trying to work with them, trying to make them seem paranoid. They know no one's going to believe them, and it sounds really nuts. So, as I said, we got back to the property, the house, and I don't know if I said this already, but the dog's leash was cut. I know what it looks like when something is cut physically or like torn or bit off or whatever. So I know that the dog did not bite off his own collar. Also, this area right here was a little bit too short for her to her to grab and bite off. So I know that it wasn't her. And I know it didn't just tear off because of the way that it was severed, or the way that it looked. It was straight, clean cut across, like someone cut it with a pocket knife. And then her water bowl was on the other, like it was like on the other side of the property. It was like really stupid and really bizarre. And then as we're trying to get into the house, we noticed that the door is kind of like broken. It like you have to take a lot of force just to shut it and open it, like the door was tampered with. Now, maybe you can give me some advice here, because the police over in Missoula they don't care. And they will not do anything until something's too late. So, they have tried to call the police. The police they don't even believe the kids. The kids that, like, I think one of them's like 11. They won't even believe an 11-year-old girl who says that a drone is following her while she takes her dog out to go potty. Like, it isn't just one person. It's 1, 2, 5, at least 5 to 6 people who have witnessed it other than me. And I mean, I'm not part of that drama really, but I was a witness to some of it. And I know how it can be when people are targeting you to the point like that. And when you try to tell someone about it, no one believes you. I was being threatened by my cousin. She was sending people after me. She got my boys, both of my children. Sorry, I have pictures of my kids up there. Both of my children taken from me. She made false reports on me. She had other people make false reports on me. She told me that she can get my last kid taken away like she did my first kid. And her friends cornered me and threatened to slit my throat. And when I called the police, I got arrested. You know how messed up that is? I got arrested when I was the one calling the cops because I had someone in my face threatening to kill me. What's wrong with that picture? The police in Missoula, they don't care. And I want to make that very clear. So them trying to report it to the police isn't doing much good because they don't care. They're under the assumption that she's on drugs because her cousin or whoever it was told the police that she was on drugs. And it's not even true. She is the one that's actually on drugs. So, yeah, if you have any advice on what to do, because calling the police isn't working, talking to the manager isn't working, and it just keeps getting worse and worse for them. They're even filming their kids while they're going to the bathroom. Like, that's disgusting. That's pedophile-ish. So if there's any advice that any of you guys have, that would be nice. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.